Good day, everyone. We are going to report about the evolution of science and technology in India. So, Indus Hindu civilization location. Early civilization in India emerged in river valleys. The valleys of Indus River supported a flourishing civilization that expanded hundreds of miles from the Himalayas to the coast of Arabian Sea. So, science and technology development. The Harappa and Mohenjo, these are the two major cities in India. So, Harappa had 35,000 inhabitants and Mohenjo-daro had perhaps 35 to 40,000 inhabitants. So, in Harappa and Mohenjo, most buildings were constructed of mud bricks baked in oven and were square-shaped, forming a grid pattern. So, in Harappa and Mohenjo, their buildings were constructed of mud bricks, which they baked in the oven. So all houses had their own private toilet, which was connected to a river sewer network constructed on brickwork held together with gypsum.
So, in 500 AD or Anno Domini, or shall we say the year of the Lord, is Aryabhata represent astronomical and mathematical system. So, the system is called Audayaka system, and it is the astronomical and mathematical system of Aryabhata made. So, this system, in this system, days are calculated from dawn, and Aryabhata also proved that the Earth revolves around its axis, and it was of the opinion motion of the planets was a result of the motion caused by the rotation of the Earth. So he also discovered the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse happened for the first time. So when we say lunar eclipse, it is the course of the full moon phase when Earth is positioned precisely between moon and sun. And when we say solar eclipse, it is the eclipse happens when the moon passes between the sun and Earth. So we shall say that Aryabhata is a great man because in the first time he discovered on how the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse happened for the first time, and also propound the heliocentric theory of gravitation. Heliocentric theory of gravitation is the astronomical model in which the Earth and planets revolve around the sun of the center of the universe. So when we say astronomical, it is talk about astronomy, like the study of everything in the universe beyond Earth's atmosphere and surface that seen in our naked eye, like stars, moon, and planets and everything. So in 598 to 668, Brahmagupta, head of the astronomical and observatory at Ujjain, and estimated in the 7th century that the circumference of the Earth, so it talks about the distance between the equator in our world and what was 500 yojonas, or shall we say estimated of 36,000. Then he also said that Earth is like a body fall towards the Earth as it is in the nature of the Earth to attract bodies, just it is in the nature of water to flow. And he also made a calculation of eclipse of the sun and the moon. So just like Aryabhata, Brahmagupta is also a great man. And Rakesh Sharma, in 1984, it became the first Indian to go to the outer space. So in movie, we clearly not hear or see the first Indian first Indian that go to the outer space. So in Hindus use a system of 27 or 28 nakshatras or the lunar constellation to calculate a month. Just like now, each month can be divided into 30 lunar or days. There are usually 330 or 366 days in a year. So that's all.
Jantar Mantar. Jantar Mantar is located in the modern city of New Delhi. Jantar Mantar means instruments for measuring the harmony of heavens. The name of Jantar Mantar is Sawai Jai Singh Do. In Jaipur is actually one of the 6 discovered observatories built by the Maharaja. Jaipur is the one of the 6 observatories built by Maharaja. Maharaja means the great leader of a king, king leader of a high Raja. It is used for Hindus who came inside the title Lus, meaning because of their no territories rule. The one of Jaipur not only follow the movements of the sun and the moon to help determine auspicious dates of events. It's also help map out of the positive of the stars in the sky. So one of Jaipur's did not follow the movement of the sun and the moon because it is different before this due to the event of different positive and of the star in the sky. He understand if it difference which also has different signal to what is indicated.
Development of science and technology in India after independence. So, India is the country of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He is an Indian aerospace scientist and statesman who served as the 11th president of India from 2000 to 2007. He is also known as the Missile Man of India. So, India comprising 17% of the world population. It is one of the most densely populated countries in the world. So, after nearly 2 centuries of despotic British rule, India gained independence in 1947. So, it was vision of Pandit Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India. He also promoted parliamentary democracy, secularism, and science and technology during the 1950s. After that time, the British left India as a poor, dependent, underdeveloped, socially and economically backward nation. So, Nehru, the first Prime Minister of independent India and the leader of India at that time, that led to the foundation of the Indian Institute of Technology in 1950. So, this institute promoted the research in India. These institutes with assistance from international assistance. The Department of Scientific Research and Natural Resources was also set up by him. The Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, or CSIR, expanded also due to the initiation of Shanti Swaraj Bhatnagar. He is known as the father of Indian research laboratories. In the field of development and defense technology, there's a organization which is called Defense Research and Development Organization. It was set up in 1950, developed several large programs and essential technology including aircraft, small and large arms,
technology. This is the story of scientific research programs in India. But after digging into the past, let's come to the present due to the initiation and vision of some great scientists and leaders. Renowned institutes have been established in India. But today, students passing from these institutes are migrating to foreign countries, and many Indian researchers are working with non-Indian research centers. So in addition, with the help of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, the Indian Space Research Organization or ISRO, nag-set up siya in 1969. And Aryabhata was the first Indian satellite na nag-launch pinaagi sa Soviet Union in 1977. Two successful space projects, Chandrayaan and Mangalyaan, is 2014. So technology development in India. The Inspire scheme is one of the prime examples of such scheme, which is developed by the Science and Technology Department for encouraging the research and development in Indian industries. In the financial year of 2021-2022, the Ministry of Science and Technology allotted Rs 14,749 for the development schemes related to the science and technology. So the development of science and technology in India after independence has a great impact on social and economical growth of the country. India stood at the third rank in the highly attractive investment for technology and regulation sa countries of the world. So conclusion. So the development of a country or the development of technology in a country would help a country as the most growing countries in the world.
The role of science and technology in space exploration. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, he is considered as founding father of the Indian space program, quickly recognized the benefits of space technologies, technology for India. With the help of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, the Indian Space Research Organization or ISRO was set up in 1969. Since its inception, the Indian Space Program, had three distinct elements. The three distinct elements is satellites for communication and remote sensing, space transportation system, and application program. Kani siya mao ni siya gatong kuan. Satellite sa gawas sa ato ang kalibutan nga magtuyok dadta. Mao ni siya gumikan ato is maka-communicate ta sa ato ang mga family sa lagyong lugar or di bisag sa mga kuan. Agi ana is makakuan ta og technology makagamit ta. Technology can be broadly classified into two major categories, namely material technology. Knowledge is embedded into technology products. The material technology is a relatively comprehensive discipline that begins with the production of goods from raw materials to process of materials into the shapes and forms needed for specific application. So, for example, they consider the metallurgy, electronics, industrial dyes, fuel and petroleum industry, refrigeration technology, explosive industry, and in the manufacture of polymers. The knowledge-based technology knowledge, management skills, and other process which are needed to successfully produce products or grow crops. So, a form of artificial intelligence or AI that aims to capture the knowledge of human experts to support decision making. For example of knowledge-based technology is systems include expert systems, which are so called because of their reliance on human expertise.
Achievements of India in science and technology. The decade of the 1950s. The experiment in science and technology that independent India has embarked on began with our leaders' goal of bringing about social change to public investment in this field. First is atomic energy establishment. The year was 1954 and Homi G. Bhabha establishes the atomic energy establishment. After his death, it was renamed the Baba Atomic Research Center. A presidential order later established the Department of Atomic Energy. The second is India's Science Policy Revolution of 1958. It was the first science policy that placed a strong emphasis on the fundamental research in almost every field of science. The policy also emphasized development and ability of basic infrastructure for the advancement of scientific research. The third is India's first digital computer. India's first digital computer was built by the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research in Mumbai. Next is the decade of 1960s. First is birth of ISRO. In 1962, Jawaharlal Nehru established the Indian National Committee for Space Research under the Department of Atomic Energy. In 1969, it was renamed in the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO. Next is the age of rocketry. The first rocket launch facility in India was established by Vikram Sarabhai in 1963 October, not far from Tirupnandapura. Next is maestros in mathematics. The TRFR mathematicians Narasimhan and C.S. Seshadri created the Narasimhan-Seshadri theorem in 1965. The most significant mathematical discovery to come out of India since independence may be this one. The next is the harvest of the Green Revolution. Under Lal Bahadur Shastri's government, the Green Revolution was started by M.S. Swaminathan with the significant support of Subramanian, the Minister of Agriculture. The Green Revolution transformed India from a food insecure nation to one of the world's top agricultural power between 1967, 1968, and 1977 to 1978. Next is the decades of 1970s. First is the Smiling Buddha. India successfully conducted its first nuclear weapon test in Pokhran, Rajasthan on May 18, 1974. After the test known as Smiling Buddha, India became the sixth nuclear state in the world to successfully test a nuclear bomb outside of the five permanent members of United Nations, which are the US, Soviet Union, Britain, France, and China. Next is the birth of satellites. On April 19, 1975, a massive polyhedral-shaped object was sent into space by rocket booster at a desolate-looking land site in the Russian province of Astrakhan. It was Aryabhata, India's first unnamed satellite, a significant occasion in the history of the country. Then the last one is birth of Durga. On October 3, 1978, Dr. Shabhas Mukherjee became the first physician in India and the second in the world to create a test tube baby. The baby, who was given the name Durga, is today known as Konopriya Agarwal.
During decades of 1980s, first is age of missile technology. On July 26, 1983, AFJ Abdul Kamal served the program director of the Integrated Guided Missiles Program by DRDO. This program produced by Prithvi, Trishul, Akash, Nag, and Agni as the result. And the next is India walking towards Antarctica to study oceanography, geology, glaciology, geomagnetism, and environmental sciences. India built its scientific base station in Antarctica about 2,500 kilometers from the South Pole. This shut down in 1988 and 90 kilometers from the original station, Maitri, which was also India's first permanent station, was built in its place. And the next is Age of Communication Technology. Under the Sam Pitroda, the Telecom Research Center of the Department of Telecom, as well as scientists and engineers from TIFR, established the Center of the Development of Telematics in 1984. And the last one during the age of 1980s is a breakthrough in forensics. Technology of DNA fingerprinting was created in 1988 by the Center of Cellular and Molecular Biology. India was the third nation to create the technology. Decades of 1990s. First is the India super duper homemade supercomputer. India had been subject to a technology embargo when the Param supercomputer was first developed. India established the Center of Development of Advanced Computing, the Computing or CDAC in 1988 to promote the development to self-sufficiency. And the next one is Communication Enhanced Reach. On July 31, 1995, the former Chief Minister of West Bengal, Basu, and then Union Telecom Minister Ram had a handled mobile phone conversation. Two of the Nokia's first mobile phone were utilized, marking first for India. The network itself is a joint venture between Australia and Telstra, and India's BP Media Group was basic by modern standards but totally uncloud. The next is Buddha smiled again. Five nuclear bombs were successfully underground tested in India on May 11, 1998. This test, known as the Pokhran Desikan, were conducted in the Pokhran Rajasthan. This was designated as a National Technology Day. But our then Prime Minister Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, in the order to support a growing democracy technology advancement, each year is celebrated. During decades of 2000 is the first Grace and Tejas. The Tejas light combat aircraft, which was created domestically, made its first flight on January 4. Tejas has now been incorporated in the Air Force of the Navy. Tejas was designed by DRDO's development agency to produce by Hindustan Rayonautic. The next is a giant leap for India. On the PLBS rocket, issue lands by Charandayaan first is the lunar lander on the October 22, 2008. An orbitor and an impactor probe was the first Chandrayaan first India first lunar mission. The mission was the greatest accomplishment besides becoming the fourth country to plant a flag on the moon. Was the identification of abundant water molecules in the lunar soil. And the last one is When the Ocean Got New Friends. Under the Advanced Technology Vessels Project, that's all. Thank you.